Jesus, that is not a whole lot of room for Jesus. So the internet is having an absolute field day right now, claiming that Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, and JD Vance's photos from a Turning Point USA event in Ole Miss yesterday that went viral are evidence that the two are sleeping together. And I'll show you the evidence these internet sleuths have dug up in just a second, because there's a lot of it. There's pictures, there's images, there's also video, body language, commentary of what Erika was saying about JD. And even if none of this is true and it's just an internet rumor, which frankly I believe to be the case, it is worth sticking around to see just how hard the internet is memeing and trolling and roasting JD Vance into oblivion. Especially because all of this came hot off the heels of JD Vance responding to a question at the debate from an Indian woman where he said he is raising his children Christian and hopes his agnostic wife Usha comes around to the Christian faith. I'll play that for you here, but this is not the first time that we've heard there's trouble at home between Usha and JD. And clearly, Erika and JD himself are these Christian nationalist figures, which is going to become really, really ironic in just a minute. But here's a snippet of how that conversation with JD and this woman went.
And yes, my wife did not grow up Christian. I think it's fair to say that she grew up in a Hindu family, but not a particularly religious family in either direction. In fact, when I met my wife, we were both, I would consider myself an agnostic or an atheist, and that's what I think she would have considered herself as well. The only advice I can give is you've just got to talk to the person that God has put you with, and you've got to make those decisions as a family unit. For us, it works out. Now, most Sundays, Usha will come with me to church. As I've told her, and I've said publicly, and I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way. But if she doesn't, then God says everybody has free will. And so that doesn't cause a problem for me. That's something you work out with your friends, with your family, with the person that you love. Again, one of the most important Christian principles is that you respect free will. Usha's closer to the priests who baptized me than maybe I am. They talk about this stuff. My attitude is you figure this stuff out as a family, and you trust in God to have a plan, and you try to follow it as best as you can. And that's what I try to do.
Sure, okay. Setting aside the wishing for your wife to come to your faith rather than vice versa, and the inherent MAGA manipulation of that, which is just such a MAGA thing to do. But okay, as weird as it is to wish your wife converts in front of 10,000 people, it's not nearly as weird as what happened next that sparked all of these rumors online. We'll get to more footage, angles, commentary, and memes of it in a second, but this was the first post that I saw that went viral from this user. Her name is Potty Mouth Pollyanna, and it breaks it down pretty well.
They are trying to replace Usha Vance with Erika Kirk, because Erika Kirk and JD Vance is their Christian nationalist wet dream. And you won't convince me otherwise. Because what is this? What is this body language? When did we start putting our hands up in the hair of our friends when we hug? Yeah, no, you don't.
That is weird.
This is weird. Oh, and then there's this one. JD, why are your hands so low? There's no reason for them to be on her hips, but there they are. But if that's not enough, here is her introducing him at Turning Point.
I am tremendously blessed and honored tonight to be able to introduce to you a very, very dear friend and his wife. They are incredible. And I see no one will ever replace my husband. No.
What?
But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD.
What a weird
and Vice
way to
President
phrase
JD.
that.
Yes, I do.
And if you're
Party of Christian family values, someone says, nah, can't they just attend a Coldplay concert and get it over with? But yeah, here is that full statement of her saying no one will ever replace my husband, but I see similarities in JD. And just think about this. I mean, JD has basically, this is our vice president, has taken over the Turning Point USA podcast, has been there every day. He's probably working very closely with Erika. And this is how you introduce him? And then this has the full video of them embracing, and then we'll break down the memes right after this. Okay, take a look.
No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD. and Vice President J.D. Vance. I do.
A hug between U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and Erika Kirk, widow of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, has set social media ablaze.
Yeah, a blaze doesn't even begin to cut it. Okay, someone posted the clip of her talking about it, saying, "I'm sorry, but this is seriously somewhat odd." And I think at the base, that is just what this is. This is so weird and frankly immoral for people who like to preach their holier-than-thou version of Christian nationalism. This one's diabolical. I have a couch like your pants. This one just points to all the other weird stuff that's going on around this. There was so much like speculation about the fanfare of Charlie Kirk's memorial and everything, saying, "Welcome to my husband's memorial." People were saying she wasn't sad enough, or she wasn't grieving correctly, or whatever. I mean, look, you grieve how you want to grieve, but there was a lot that was just really performative, from not even just from Erika Kirk, but from the administration, the way J.D. Vance took over his show, the things Donald Trump said, the pyrotechnics of his memorial. This picture is going viral again, trending. How it started, JD and Usha looking all happy in the beginning of their election, and how it's going now. Oh my God, it's gotta be exhausting constantly having to remind ICE agents that you're the VP's wife. Yikes. Another one, "I had these pants made from the finest couch upholstery I can tell." And look, I mean, this is a weird thing to do with even your closest friend or a family member, right? The hand in hair thing is very sexual. And this body language just screams like, I mean, even if they're not in a relationship, which frankly, I don't think they are, or doing anything skeevy, this just looks so bad for two people who are so incredibly media trained to do this. Is frankly such poor taste. I mean, that's the vice president. And it just goes to show the absolute performative nature of their like Christian family values bullshit. Oh my God. Someone made the meme where JD is looking over at Erika and Usha's over here on the side. That is wild. Oh my God. Someone made it with AI like they're in Days of Our Lives. Oh, this is... Ooh. Someone else said, "Y'all stop playing. She wanna fuck the man in charge first. All good coochie must first go through the head honcho. She gets that TDS infection." Hey, yo. Damn, he really grabbed her waist in front of all of those people. Yeah. Oh no, someone made an AI version where they actually kiss. That's, okay, we're done. We're done. No more memes. No more memes. Now look, do I think this is pure speculative internet rumor mill type stuff? Yeah, obviously. Am I happy that people are doing it and roasting him and calling him out? Yeah, absolutely. That's disgraceful. On both parts. I don't want to say too much about Erika Kirk because then the MAGA snowflakes will put my name on a list and I'll end up in Alligator Alcatraz or something in the next week. But for the vice president to be doing that, acting like that, also just like clout farming off of Charlie Kirk's death and taking over his show when you're the vice president, sure. Is it a performative role, I guess, being vice president? Yeah, to an extent. Very much like that man's performative Christianity or performative love for his wife. At the same time, people are being brutally deported for the color of their skin. You have two mixed-race children that you're trying to raise Christian and convert your wife, hopefully, and you support the policy of a man who, even though MAGA loves to think Donald Trump is some kind of pro-Jesus savior, the truth is the guy is the fucking Antichrist, and if you can't see it, then you're not Christian. You're not living the words of the Bible or Jesus Christ. You're co-opting an already co-opted religious movement. I'm going to throw a thumbnail of a YouTube video up here that I will link down below because I just watched it yesterday. It's the history of how the right wing co-opted Christianity in this country. And I'm not saying it's all Christians, right? But especially the Christian evangelicals and the far right wing MAGA lunatics, they have done this. So JD Vance is pushing this agenda. That's not even his own belief. Abortion, right-wing co-option of Christianity. Anti-gay, anti-LGBTQ, right-wing co-option of Christianity. There is nothing in the Bible that definitively talks about those things. If you want proof, do what MAGA can't do and open up a fucking book. I'll link to the YouTube video, but this is a great read too by John Fugel saying, separation of church and hate. And look, is it cathartic to make fun of J.D. Vance and his wife and Erika Kirk and, point out this absolute hypocrisy? 100%, 100%. It's what we love doing here at Really American. But at the end of the day, if we don't simultaneously call out the Christian nationalist fundamentalism of all of this that is akin to Sharia law that they like to fucking fearmonger with so much, then what are we doing? Right? J.D. Vance has already shown that he is willing to throw away any sort of moral integrity he has to suckle at the teat of either Peter Thiel or Donald Trump. So what would stop him from throwing away his family? Especially, perhaps, now that he has a white Christian replacement for his best friend wife that he loves so much. He really hopes her free will make her Christian. I wonder if he also hopes her free will make her white. Anyway, that's all for today, folks. Thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel, drop a like, comment, subscribe. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you guys in the next one.